So we just finished up here lunch at the El Tanque, which is an old water tank that was decommissioned years ago and has now been turned into this kind of artist community center where they're just building all of these cool murals, tile structures, and apparently cooking tourists like us delicious lunches from time to time. And we were just entertained by some fantastic Cuban music. You know, these trips are always about both photography and appreciating the local culture. So this was really special. So Hamel Alley is where on Sundays Cubans of mostly African American descent gather together, celebrate their deities through music. It's good stuff. Day, whatever it is, because I think I've already miscounted. So it's a new day, and we started out this morning walking with some local Cuban photographers, and our first stop is here at this market, which, two things. One, fantastic photographic opportunities inside with all of these fruits and vegetables, colorful, smells wonderful as well. Second, it's just really interesting, fascinating really, to just experience a very different way of life from what I'm used to and what from many of you who probably watch this channel are used to as well. So let's head on in now and take a look. I smell guava, I smell paprika, tomatoes. It smells really good. So one, and the light is really nice too. You're here in this what we call open shade because we've got bright light hitting on the wall across the street from us, and it's kind of filling this space with really nice light. One of the things to look for in here is repetition, the stacking of the fruits and vegetables, taking shots of those, tight shots that show that repetition. Back in the kind of courtyard area of an apartment complex. This is all pretty well put together, very clean, nice. And I've got some chickens up above us on a cage. You can see the water cisterns hanging back there. Hola, Toby.
Hola.
Hola. Oh, thank you.
This is their house. They have
This
a
is
bedroom upstairs,
bedroom.
and this is the kitchen. This is el baño. Bathroom.
Nice. Nice.
Como dicen en España, el bato.
How
Oh,
long?
gracias.
Oh,
¿Usted no?
sí.
Ah,
Gracias.
nada.
Gracias.
Siéntese.
Uh-huh. Hold on a second. So it might have seemed like I just randomly walked into a stranger's home. I want to take a moment and explain. I explained later in the vlog, but I didn't do a good enough job, so I'm going to take this time now. It's almost a full week after that event happened, and since that time, I've been lucky enough to go into multiple Cubans' homes. Everything from several rooms and working plumbing to tiny, tiny little squares with a sleeping loft and no plumbing, nearby, having to make a trip down a hallway, down a flight of stairs. One of the places that we went into yesterday had to climb the most rickety spiral staircase that is literally falling apart and missing railings where those steps are in their worst shape. But that's all aside. What I want to tell you right now is that the Cuban people have been unbelievably friendly, generous, and smiles. I heard our guide say early on in the trip that, you know, the Cuban people are very generous in their nature. If they only have one egg and you come to visit, they'll offer you that one egg. And I've seen that personally to be true. Now in this case, Maria is one of our participants on the trip. She speaks Spanish and just had struck up a conversation with this couple right inside their home, inside that courtyard where we were photographing, and they invited her in, and she then called my name and I followed her in, and they served us Cuban coffee and just chatted about their life some, and it's just been really interesting to meet such friendly, generous people. And when I think back to my experiences in America, how often we would invite strangers into our home, especially some strangers who can't even speak the same language, and serve them coffee 5-10 seconds after they walked in the door. It's just a very different and very nice experience.
¿Sabe lo que es la Sierra Maestra?
Nunca he ido, pero he
No,
escuchado.
pero la he escuchado, donde,
Sí.
donde se forjó la revolución,
Sí.
donde estaba Fidel,
Sí.
cuando vino de México.
We should go. Yes. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you.
Me
Thank
llamo
you.
María.
Ah, yo Ana María.
Ana María. Mucho gusto. Gracias. Gracias por dejar entrada a su casa. Ya no le dan dos.
Thank you, Maria.
Right now, we're going to see the National Museum of Beautiful Arts, otherwise known as Museo Nacional de Bellas Artes.
Very
We're going to
nice.
see some very nice art today.
What did we do this morning?
We walked around the neighborhoods of Cuba, took lovely, lovely pictures of the Cuban people, and we got to go inside people's homes, which was just a very nice blessing. And we got to see the farmer's market, the flowers, and Toby paid way too much for a piece of watermelon.
It's worth it. It's all worth it.
Worth every puke. And that's it. We did that for about 2.5 hours. It was a lovely morning.
Thank you. Do you have a highlight of the trip so far? I know we're only a few days in.
Oh gosh, just the people. The people have been very friendly and hospitable and excited to see us Americans. So that's just my highlight.
Nice. Thanks. So as Cherie told us as we were coming in here, this is the center, Cuban Center for National Art, built in the 1950s, restored in 2000. It doesn't feel very Cuban in here, or I should say Havana right now, because it is so modern, clean, and neat feeling. Not that Havana isn't those things. Well, it isn't. No recordings allowed up in the gallery, so I'm going to shut this off in just a minute. In New Zealand, it was the Dart jet boats. In Winter Yellowstone, it was snowmobiles. In Cuba, we're about to hit the road in these awesome convertibles. Let's go. Just a little horn beeping. As we're cruising along the waterfront, the promenade here, we've been talking a little bit to Eduardo, our driver. His grandfather bought this car new in 1953. He owned a sugar cane plantation here in Cuba and had the money to purchase this vehicle. It's been passed down through his family, and now he owns it and drives it as a taxi. One slice? Melon, yes. May I buy? I think there was a miscommunication when I paid for this because he was like, I was like, how much? He was like, 5. And so I handed him 5 kooks, and his eyes went, and then he was turned away.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, I think it was probably like 5 cents or something. Yeah. But I'm all right with it.
Yeah.